Hey guys, it's me again, DJ Slope. That guy that's been riding the side-scrolling brawlers train for quite some time. In fact, a large portion of my popularity comes from talking about Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, and plenty of other similar titles such as Captain Commando and Final Fight. Well, with retro becoming more and more popular, it was only a matter of time before we got ourselves a new age classic side-scrolling brawler that takes inspiration from the games that perfected the genre in the first place. Little did I know, we would be getting so many of these games. Thankfully, Raging Justice was one that caught my eye from the very beginning due to its unique art style. And before we get into the gameplay and music, I think it's important to briefly talk about the game's artistic direction. In short, it's amazing. Just look at it. Remember when games like Pit Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, and, well, even Donkey Kong Country started using these digitized sprites? Well, this is the best that sort of style will ever look. Obviously, I much prefer the style of 16 and 32-bit classic sprites or even hand-drawn styles, but this is so incredibly unique that I welcome it with open arms. Okay, so that's the visual style covered, worthy of that cheap as balls £10 bracket alone if you ask me. But next up, let's chat about the music. Classic side-scrollers have always required some outstanding music to complement the repetitive, mindless fun. And this game, well, it seriously falls down in this department. Obviously, I wasn't exactly expecting Yuzo Koshiro levels of awesome, but I barely got anything from this game at all. The music is just so dull. Give me some hard EDM music, some classic 80s synth style sounds, or even some hard rock. Anything like this would seriously complement this game's style. But what we ended up getting was plenty of very mediocre mellow and way too dumbed down action movie scores. I've played this game several times over, and by this point, well, I couldn't hum you one piece of music found in the game, except for perhaps, I don't know, maybe the title screen. Right. So, that's 2 out of the 3 pillars covered in making a great side-scrolling brawler. Obviously, what is left is the gameplay. And, sad to say guys, it's a little bit mediocre. There's nothing wrong with the way it feels, and just like all retro-inspired games should, it even throws in some cool new ideas. But, when I originally got my review copy that consisted of 3 levels instead of the eventual 9, all 3 felt very similar. Then, when I got the full version of 9 levels, it felt even more similar. Here's an example. You remember when those classic games that we all know and loved cheaped out and made you do a small boss rush on the final stage before you get to the final boss? Yeah, it always felt a bit of a cheap cop-out, something that they did to extend the game. Well, Raging Justice takes it to another level. A boss you fight at the end of level 1 will appear in almost every other level multiple times. It is exciting to see when a new boss emerges, however, that excitement quickly filters away when you have to fight him or them another 10 times during the game. On top of that, every single stage consists of you going left to right. Yeah, that may sound obvious, but it never changes it up. No super fast car level, no elevator level, nothing that changes up the gameplay style whatsoever. Apart from the odd pit fighter type sections and tractor mowdown sections, which are of course very much welcome, but they're just few and far between. But with all this negativity I may have just slapped into this review, let's look at what the game actually does right. Look, like I said already, it feels brilliant. Definitely not as quick and fluid as something like Streets of Rage, but instead far more heavy and chunky, sort of like the classic Final Fight type games. Which is a thumbs up in my books. The 3 characters the game provides you with all have different enough attributes to make playing through with each one a different experience. The arrest feature is really quite awesome, making you a good cop or a bad cop as you make your way through the game, and probably best of all is the mini checklist of things that you need to be aiming for in each level. It's not a necessity, but instead a really awesome way to make you want to come back and replay the game again. So, what is my Springer's final thoughts on the whole thing? It's alright. well worth the £10 asking price, that's for sure. You're most definitely going to be getting that much fun out of it. And for someone like me, someone who's obsessed with this genre, heck, I'd probably go out and buy the physical release if it ever shows up. But as a whole, the best way I can describe it is, it just feels like finding a random main ROM that once opened up, ends up being a bit of a hidden gem. But ultimately, well, you're probably not going to be playing it again anytime soon. Hey there guys, thanks for checking out the video. I want to give a big special shout out to all my patrons as usual. So a big special shout out going to Ryan Burford, Gary Pinkett, Andrew Dalton, Brent Craft, Joe Lazares, Ian A. Chapman, Phil Lowlins, Retro to Next Gen, Garzigor Cielski, Samuel Victor, Red the Beard, John Fuller, Michael, Conrad Constantine, Pretendo64, Mike Fallon, Gavin Gorvez, Creamy Elephant, James Loveridge, Casey Garner, Blitz Hedgie, Ben Hall, Gemma at Mr. T-Shirts, Marcus King Emo, Cut Tyndall, June, Rob Jenkins, The Geeky Dad, Richard Carter, aka Fantastic Dizzy, Dunder Control, Todd Poolfloat G, Petty Mew, and Brian Rawson. If you want to be part of this list, get your name shouted out, get your name shown, come and see what I'm working on, join the secret exclusive Patreon rooms in my Discord chat, as well as plenty of other exclusives, then click the link that you see on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever you prefer. But for now, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.